Thanks for joining us. We are Randolph and Angela with the Hatch Homes Group, and there's our Monday housing market update. So we've all seen homes sell fast, some take a while. There are different factors as to why: location, condition, but overall, a common denominator is price. So when determining a list price, it's important to understand what market value looks like. If you price too high, it very likely could sit longer and actually could cost you more. So Randolph, why do you think so many sellers price their house high?
Typically, what it is misinformation on online sites. We call them robot valuations. Now, let me ask you this. Have the robot been inside your house? Do they know the condition?
Yeah, and I would also say that many sellers watch what their neighbors got, think their home is better, so they should get more. And often they're not factoring in when the house sold, what conditions were happening. For instance, a condo might be listed when there's no assessment versus when there is assessment. That plays a big part. Or maybe you're a condo in a building and a home sold when there was no competition in the building. All of a sudden, when you go on the market, you have all this competition in the building. So it really does make a difference on the price and valuation.
So if you have to make price adjustments, buyers will think there's something wrong with it. So here's something. As an article from US News Real Estate says, even in a hot market where there are more buyers than houses available for sale, buyers aren't going to pay attention to a home with an inflated asking price. That's because no home buyer wants to pay more than they have to, especially not today.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're a buyer, like, that makes total sense. So maybe another issue is that sellers are over improving their property. We really wish that every single client would talk to us before they decide to remodel their home or do these upgrades, because often we'll have to be the bearer of bad news after the work is done and they've spent so much money that they're just not going to get the ROI that they thought that they would on that.
Right. So in those areas, it is important to not overprice your home, because you will chase the market down and get less than you could have if you price it well in the first week on the market.
So we have this graph that is super helpful. So if you're in an area or a price point in a high inventory spot, like a lot of condos right now, or even, for example, there's specific areas like North Portland over 675 has 6 months inventory, which is technically a buyer's market. Or in fall time, when the market slows down and you price high, that will cause your property to sit and it's chasing the market down, right? So check out this graph.
Yeah. So in those areas, it is super important to not overprice your home, because you will chase the market down and get less than you could have if you priced it well in the first week on the market.
That's huge. I mean,
it sure
I
is.
think that's what every seller misses, that you're chasing the market down.
Yeah, so it's not only the price of an overpriced home that turns buyers off. There's also another negative component that kicks in. If your listing just sits there and accumulates days on the market, it will not be a good look.
Yes, it will turn off buyers for sure if something's just sitting there. But what I often do with sellers, if they're really adamant about the price that they want to get, ultimately it's their house, it's their decision. I'm not going to fight on that. However, I do suggest and often work out that, if we put it on the market at the price that you really, really want to try for, and we don't get the feedback that we want, we don't get the activity that we want, that we already have a pre-planned price reduction in place swiftly. So we're not sitting on the market for a really long time. We're testing the market maybe for a week. If it's not working, let's swiftly make a correction on that price.
Very important points. So bottom line, sometimes we get the sense that a seller thinks we just want to sell the home fast, but when you look at this graph and understand our experience, we want to get you the most out of your home. This includes your price and terms, and having a solid price strategy is how we do that. So thank you for listening. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.